Hello everybody, this is Dr. Bar and today I'm going to talk about reversing the biologic clock. Recent research has shown that we're born with a certain chronologic age. However, our cells have a biologic age that is influenced by many different lifestyle factors. The study from 2013 showed DNA methylation and glycation, big words. These are factors that can actually measure clinically how your cells are aging. This male on the left in the curve has improved his immune function through senolytic programs and has improved his life through changing his biologic clock by 11 years and 8 months. This means his cells are acting like a 41-year-old, even though he's 61-year-old. Very impressive. Next slides will be talking about how we can reach that goal. So the theories of aging has been out for years. Maybe the last decade has been very much progressive in finding how we can improve our aging process. So there's definitely several theories. The genetic theory involves the DNA, which is like an X-shaped form up here on the top. And at the end of each DNA, there's a telomere that determines how many times your DNA will divide. Every time the cell replicates, the telomere gets shorter and shorter, and at a certain age, the telomere attrition happens and the DNA cannot divide anymore and the cells die. That is sad. However, we have ways of changing the telomere length. And of course, DNA is not the only thing that you're born with that determines how your life is going to go. Now we know that epigenetics is a very important factor that turns on or turns off your DNA genes. So epigenetics is a very big part of our program now, that we can help your DNA functions at a younger level. Now the green dot here is another important organelle that determines aging. It's called the mitochondria. And mitochondrial dysfunction is a very key element that determines how the cell is going to age. So we work a lot on mitochondrial improvement. Hormones are very important, and we know that as we age, hormones decline. All the hormones could be balanced again, and the neuroendocrine theory here could improve your longevity. The yellow dots show the free radical theory, and these include, for example, pollutants, antioxidation, toxins, environmental. Oxidation is like a big one now that creates the chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is equal to chronic disease, and hence the cells will not function at a very healthy level and aging will follow. The pink ones determine our immune dysfunction. Immune dysfunction theory will involve your lymphocytes, your thymus gland, and also your natural killer cells that kills any cancers that happen in the body, as well our stem cells that we're born with, and they decline with aging. This slide shows us that as we are exposed to different environmental stressors, the telomere gets shorter, the DNA becomes damaged, mitochondria is dysfunctional, and on the left here, those cells represent zombie cells, which is cells that do not die. They are cells that are not functioning and do not want to die, and they are there to use our nutrients. And actually, we have learned, as shown in this slide, that zombie cells or aging cells, senolytic cells, all the same. These are the chronic diseases or the frailty or cardiovascular disease, diabetes type 2, bone diseases as osteoarthrosis, like when people have joint problems, lose their bone density, loss of brain function, dementia. All these are aging cells, and now we know we can reverse that aging. Skin aging, like wrinkles and sagging, hair loss, all these could be reversed by using senolytic programs, which is very impressive. So as we age, we lose physiologic resilience, and that is the first stage. We know that when we're young, we break a bone, we can fix that within a month or so. But as we age, we break a bone and it takes months and months to heal. This is the loss of resilience. And after loss of resilience, we start having chronic disease, all published here in these references. Chronic diseases are equivalent to aging, and these could be prevented or reversed through senolytic programs that we're going to discuss, like diabetes, osteoarthritis, joint problems, atherosclerosis, lung problems. All these are things that we can reverse with the senolytic programs or the anti-aging programs now that we know. Mitochondria, which produce energy that gets depleted with aging, we know now that there are ways of reversing that aging process. And here's the curve showing with aging mitochondria decline. Your markers that we can measure now are showing up in red. These are markers that tells us where we're going. And then the NAD, which is an IV, it's a natural molecule in our body, declines. So once we start supporting the NAD and giving an IV with NAD, helps the mitochondrial function. And of course, I love the peptides. MOTS-C peptide is one of the amazing mitochondrial peptides that can help revive the mitochondria again. Next slide here, we're talking about hormones and how the hormones are very important in keeping our cells in a healthy younger state. So once we start losing our hormones around in the 30s, shocking, right? So 30s, we start losing the hormones here in pink. You're losing your testosterone, your DHEA, your growth hormone. The yellow one is melatonin. We stop having enough melatonin, and that's why people suffer from insomnia or lack of proper sleep. The green and the blue is your estrogen and progesterone. These are hormones that we can balance back again and reverse the aging process that happens in the cells. You can see all these organs up there, whether it's thymus, it's thyroid, it's bones, it's ovaries, kidneys, heart. All these organs can be revived again and live in a healthier state. This slide shows the thymus, which is one of my favorite hormone producing organ that controls our immune system. And in that curve, again, in the 30s, you see the decline of the thymus gland. It becomes rudimentary. We're born with it because it's needed. And then for some reason at 30, it disappears. And now we see the red curve rising up sharply with chronic disease of aging. So now we can reverse the aging of the thymus gland by the TA1 peptides that can help your thymus improve its function again. Lots of peptides are available for regenerative medicine. We call it the senolytic medicine, another fancy word. The peptide theory here, we use it a lot in longevity medicine. Lots of people have used it in aesthetics and facial creams. We know that one. But it's also a hot topic now with weight loss. A lot of peptides are used in weight loss, muscle building, mitochondrial repair, cardiovascular, heart recovery, stem cells improvement, lots of hormonal improvement, as peptides are signaling proteins, are little helpful for our hormones. This slide shows Yamanaka, a scientist who did an amazing study. He studied aging cells in the lab and was able to reverse the age of those cells to embryonic, reversing back the clock using peptides, using epigenetic reprogramming. We talked about the epigenetics. And NAD, which is an IV, rapamycin. We use a lot of peptides to help with that. The FOXO4 is one of my favorite. Quercetin and quercetin are antioxidant. All these are part of our program to help reverse the aging of the cells. Next slide here, we're talking about stem cells. It's a hot topic. A lot of people are talking about stem cells and how it is improving our health. And as we age, we lose our own stem cells. And now there's a way of either saving those stem cells and banking them. Yes, you heard me. Not only babies can bank the stem cells, we can do that procedure now. Take your stem cells, bank them for a rainy day. Stem cells are very important here. If you see how they can affect our T cells, like the helpers, the cytotoxic, the natural killers, these are the ones that will protect us from viruses that will cause problems and chronic illnesses, tumor cells regulation, and also B cell functions, which produce antibodies and protect us. These are the tests we like to do in the lab. So we have now an ability to test for how your cells are aging. It's a blood test. We do another salivary test, very simple tests, but they can give us an idea what is your biologic age, and we can compare that with biologic and chronologic age and start the program accordingly. And this is our program here. Very simple things you can do at home. Diet intermittent fasting has shown through clinical studies to improve aging. Exercise, we don't ask people to go spend hours in the gym or do the cardio. Very simple thing, burst exercise. We do a little bit of lifting, and that's all what we need to improve our hormones. Stress management is key. We've looked at the yellow part of the pie. Stress is huge in whether it's physiologic or psychological stress. It kills the cells. So we need to reduce the stress. We have a very interesting program. It helps your brain cells reprogram, retrainment, and you can even learn how to take this at home. And of course, it will also help you with sleep. The quality of sleep is important. So many clinical studies showing that if you sleep with quality sleep, you can reverse aging. And then the most important things that we do in our practice for you is mitochondrial health repair, senolytic programs through targeting the aging and zombie cells. We do nitric oxide peptides here, and shows how peptides reverse a lot of the aging process, improve your telomeres, so using epitelin and FOXO4. Of course, we do stem cells, at the end after a person is prepared. We use a lot of antioxidants like quercetin, resveratrol here, and curcumin, vitamin D, skiol. You have to be on vitamin D all the time. It's not enough to get it from the sun. Rapamycin is another important one that has been studied. So all these programs are available for you. We'll be happy to help you improve your biologic clock. Please give us a call, or you can reach us through the website or YouTube. Would love to help, would love to talk to you. If there's any comments, please join our channel, subscribe, and send us your opinion. Any other topics that you want to be talking about, but this is a simplified way that I discussed really over a few minutes how we can reverse the aging, and we have a lot of scientific data to support that. Healthy wishes, and please subscribe and send me a message, and hope to hear from you soon.